I'm back with Vlogostomy number 2. As promised, this is going to be a bag change. So, you might think this is scary stuff. Well, if it's like your first or second go, it probably is. When I did my first one at home, out of the hospital, I nearly fainted. I cried. I had a bit of a paddy. The second one, I got that faint, shaky feeling still. But I didn't cry.
What?
And I had a tiny paddy, just a tiny one. So hopefully you'll be able to cope with it. I'm going to help you through, and I'm going to try not to waffle too much. You must forgive me if I do. This is like my second ever video ever. So bear with me, folks. I'm trying to be funny, it's just not working. I'm going to show you my little box of tricks now. So I've got this vanity case on eBay. About 15 quid. Because I just wanted something to put all my stuff in for my stoma care. So, let's open it up. Ooh. We've got goodies. Skin barrier spray. You probably can't see that. I'm really not very good with this camera. Put that there. We have adhesive removal. And we shall put this here. This is my little station that I usually change my bag at, with a little mirror, which is essential for ladies with bosoms. Okay. I use a little lovely card that I got from my cousin when I was having my operation for drying purposes. We got some cream here. I'll go over everything, all of the cream stuff, at a later date. And here is my bag. Yeah, pretty. Nice colour. And we'll get out wipes, which are free, and my environmentally friendly poo bags. Because the massive ones that they send you from the delivery company are not biodegradable, and they're huge, way too big for my needs anyway. First things first, let's cut a hole. So here's the bag. Here is the adhesive plastic that I've cut on my last bag, and I've measured this against my stoma because I've got an uneven shaped stoma as well as it being retracted. So we're going to take a pen, and I have to go inside the template, okay, and then it's on there. And you get these curved scissors. Your stoma nurse will give you a packet. It's full of all sorts of useful things, and the most useful things are these scissors, because you'll just always need them if you need to cut your bags. Now, some people are lucky enough to have a really even shaped stoma, and if that's the case, you can just measure using one of the little cardboard measuring devices that they put in each box of bags. So just cut mine there, throw that bit away. So we've got a nice hole. This is a convex bag. This is convex because I have a retracted stoma. So if you can see inside, there's a hard, rigid plastic piece which gives this, you can just see there, it's raised. It's quite sturdy. And the theory behind this is that it just pushes your abdomen in, so your stoma hopefully manages to get inside the bag a bit more than it usually would. If you don't have a retracted stoma, then you won't use a convex bag. Here are the little stickers that you get in your box of bags. I always put one on because otherwise my bag will pancake. Now I'll tell you what that is again later. So basically this is your charcoal filter that's sort of foam and charcoal to sort of disperse any odours, and I just put over the little opening there, I just put the sticker, pop it on, there we go.
Ready? We're gonna change.
So, the bag. It's quite full. I've been at home all day today. Haven't gone out anywhere, so I was okay to leave it till it's like this. I don't want to remove this wafer too many times because that just makes my skin worse, so I was happy to leave it like this today. First step, adhesive remover. Wipe Away Plus, this is what I'm using at the moment. It's got a nice pepperminty smell. I'm just going to remove a little bit and peel away. I'm probably a bit excessive with this spray, but ever since my skin started to get sore and itchy, I figure whatever I need to use to get the adhesive off nicely, I'm happy to do. If you don't use adhesive remover, the top layer of your skin is going to come off even more and cause more skin problems, and we just want to avoid that. And there we go, it's off. Just using my pre-cut tissue, just get some of the bad stuff off, and I'm going to use my wipe that I've made wet. Sometimes I'll use 2, sometimes I'll use 1. Most of the time I will use 1 with just water, and then sometimes I might use a bit of soap that I make myself, which I will show you in another post. So when you come out of hospital, make sure you wipe away from your wound because this might be open. I've just got glue, so it is out to the elements. Some people have stitches. I'm just using this to just clean very gently, and you will find that you get some blood, and that's just because this is quite delicate, the skin that's right on the edge of the stoma, the intestine wall. So I feel quite happy that that's nice and clean, a bit wet, so I'm going to leave it to dry. I don't want to use tissue because it leaves a residue, so I'm just going to let it get a bit of air for a second. So let's have a look at this stoma. This pink should ideally not be there. Really, the skin around your stoma should look the same as the rest of your abdomen skin, but I've got this contact dermatitis going on, which is not pleasant. This pink bit is from the convexity of the wafer, and I'm going to do something. It might gross you out, so look away if you're a little bit squeamish, although you've got to try and get used to this, so a suggestion is to watch. This is what my stoma should look like if it was not retracted. Now I don't know if you can see that. It's poking out and mine is poking in. This discoloration is normal. Some purple, that's where the stitches were, there was a lot more of it. There are some bumps, which I think you'll be able to see. And that's just from the stitching. It was probably about this wide, about that big when I first came out of hospital, and it has shrunk, and that will happen to all stomas. The shape isn't brilliant, as I said when I was cutting the bag, but I just use a clear piece of plastic and I draw over it to measure, because it needs to be accurate. There's a little bit of shininess, if you can notice that, and that's actually mucus, which will come out. Your intestines have mucus that helps to push the food along. So I've just wiped that away with a bit of my tissue and pop it in the disposable bag. Sometimes, if you're lucky, you can see your stoma moving, which is the peristalsis, which is the intestine pushing the food around. And it will sort of, it's quite weird. A bit weird if you're squeamish. Now it's on to the barrier spray. This is really important. If you've got any sort of leakage, this stuff is going to stop it from eating away at your skin. It's not quite as bad with the colostomy. The ileostomy output, as I said, is liquid and it's much more corrosive. It's just not good for your skin. Should we just say that? I'm not a scientist here. So I'm going to spray. Oh, bit cold. Now this is where my card comes in. So we're going to fan. We'll have a little feel. Okay, it's still a bit tacky, so we do need it to be completely dry. Otherwise you're going to get some friction under your wafer and your skin just isn't going to like that. Now, if you have noticed, there hasn't been anything coming out of my stoma apart from the mucus. Sometimes it's very active when I change the bag. Quite often people will put some tissue or kitchen paper over there to protect, but I sort of know, I've got used to the feeling, I know when I'm going to be safe, and I know right now with this bag change that not a lot's going to happen. Before I go to bed, I do massage my stomach where the intestines are, over the top of the belly button and round, and sometimes, because my bowels aren't back to normal yet, and it does take quite a few months, it can take longer, but you can feel sort of a lump, and sometimes I'll at night just give that a nice gentle massage and it will make some poo come out basically, and that just makes it easier for me at night to sleep on my bag. So we have the fun part now. We're going to take the backing off of the adhesive. There we go. And to prevent pancaking, which is where there's no air in the bag when you put it on, so it's flat, then anything that comes out gets built up around this part of the wafer inside, and it looks like a pancake, and eventually that's just going to all creep out and then eventually creep onto your skin, and that's when it really, you get the smells and the leaking. So I just do this, that puts a bit of air into it, and then I'm going to fold in half. Because mine's retracted, I can't just sort of pop it on top, and even if I did just pop it on top, it might not be very accurate. So usually at this point I'll use a mirror. I'm using the camera today, so this will be interesting. Yeah, that looks quite accurate. So I've still got my air in the bag. I'm just going to roll it up over the top, and this bit's very important now, so we want to get that wafer nice and warm it all up, because that adds to the adhesion to the skin. And when I've done the outside, I do the inside. So a little bit of friction, creates some warmth, pushes it right onto the skin. And it's good because this is a clear. Sometimes you can get an opaque bag, but I like the clear because I like to see what's going on if it feels a bit funny, and I want to check how butt face is. Just make sure all the way around that there's no gaps and that we feel nice and secure. Here are some belt loops, and all convex bags will come with belt loops. I don't tend to use them because I feel like it's quite safe and secure anyway, but a lot of people like that added peace of mind. And there we have the bag change. Well, that's the end of the bag change. Not a lot to it. No, there's a lot to it, and you'll get used to it. Seriously, it will take a couple of weeks, if that. And if it takes longer, that's fine too. It really is trial and error. It's about doing what you need to do, finding things that you like to use, getting a good setup in your bathroom. I mean, I'm really lucky. I've got this massive mirror, my box. Over here, that's my station. I've got a lot of room. I know not everyone's going to have a lot of room, and I feel really lucky. This is the first house where I've had enough room, so that was extra lucky. Okay, I think next time I'm going to show you some products, because that's where the fun starts. You get to pick and choose what you want. Thanks for watching, guys. Toodaloo.